So you're going to want to edit text, right? And so here we are in our sandbox course right here, and I'm logged in as the teacher. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on our sprocket and I'm going to turn editing on. So that's different. So this is where you edit the basic settings of the entire course, but right here, turn editing on in this case is where you really edit the content of the course. And you know you're in editing mode because it says edit and all these pencils start to show up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to one of these learning sections and I'm going to add a page, and we'll talk more about what these activities and resources are later in a later video. But right now I'm just going to create a page, which is essentially a space for me to add text and links and videos and all that sort of stuff. So it's a web page basically. So I'm going to put a lesson about dogs. Here is the description of the page. I almost always leave this blank because it's not really important for the kids. What is important for your students is the content. Now this is where you're going to edit stuff. This is where you will edit stuff for students to read. All right, and it's basically just like any text editor like Google Docs or Microsoft Word. What you will notice, however, though, is I'm going to click this down arrow to open up. The options for formatting is really, really limited compared to what you're able to do in Google Docs and Microsoft Word, and that's because Moodle is only providing for you internet-friendly options. If you want to preserve all that beauty that you can create with Google Docs and Microsoft Word, you're going to just insert a link directly to a Google Doc. All right. For example, here, click here to view the Google Doc, right? And so I'm going to highlight the words, click here to view. Now, it so happens I already have a Google Doc here, so I'm going to click share. I'm going to get that URL to my Google Doc, and I'm going to go back here and, oops, I unclicked it. I'm going to highlight it, and then I'm going to click this link, and I'm going to paste in the URL and create the link. And now when I mouse over it, you can see that it's a link that's going to go directly to this beautiful page. Now, you don't want to try and recreate this beautiful Google Doc inside Moodle because a lot of this stuff is not internet friendly in terms of ADA, Accessibility for Americans with Disabilities Act and stuff like that. So Moodle in itself is going to really limit you to the kinds of features that are ADA compliant. But if you really want to do fancy stuff, just do it in a Google Doc and link to it inside this page. And basically, it's just like any other text editor. You can add links, as I already showed you. You can insert images. So let's say I want to insert an image. So I'll just click Insert Image. I'm going to browse my repository, which really means upload a file. So I'm going to make sure that's highlighted. I'm going to click Choose a File, and I already have a picture about a dog right here. So I'm going to click Open. I'm going to upload that. Now right here, describe this image for somebody who cannot see it. This is just an example of how thoughtful Moodle is for all of our learners, making sure all of our students can access the content. You can resize it if you wish. You click Save, and there is your image. There's other things we can do that inside this text editor. I'm going to save that for later videos. We can insert multimedia stuff. We can add our own audio. Right here, we can add our own video, and we're going to go into greater detail in later videos. But that's basically the nuts and the bolts of editing. That down arrow expands and gives you all the views, all the formatting options. When you're done editing your page, you just go down here and click Save and Return to Course. And of course, there is the page that I just created all about dogs.